Hey guys, my name's Steph, I'm Botanist Cool, and I don't know what's happening. This game is a lot more in-depth than I thought it was. Anyways, I hope you guys are enjoying your time here. If you like Mass Effect, leave a like, subscribe, all that good stuff. We're gonna talk to the crew members and see what's going on.
I never properly thanked you for saving me from the Geth, Commander. If you hadn't shown up,
I'm just glad we got there in time.
so am I. I know you took a chance bringing me aboard this ship. I have seen the way your crew looks at me. They do not
Fuck
trust me.
racists.
But I am not like Benezia. I will do whatever I can to help you stop Saren. I promise.
Don't worry, Liara. I trust you. I know you won't let me down.
It means a lot to hear you say that, Commander. Thank you.
Tell me about yourself, Liara.
Time to learn about our
I
people.
am afraid I am not very interesting, Commander. I spend most of my time on remote digs, unearthing mundane items buried in long-forgotten Prothean ruins.
You must enjoy something about it.
I love my work. Seeking out history's lost secrets has a special appeal for me. You were
That's fair,
actually
actually. I
touched
kind of like
by
archaeology for
working
that same
Prothean
reason, but you
technology.
know.
That is why I find you so fascinating, Commander.
Wait, I'm
Sounds
fascinating?
like you want to dissect me in a lab somewhere.
What? No, I did not mean to insinuate.
That was
I
a
never
tease,
meant to offend you,
Liara.
Shepard. I only meant that you would be an interesting specimen for an in-depth study. No, that's even worse.
Calm down, Liara. I was only joking.
Joking? Oh, by the goddess, how could I be so dense?
So they have
You
their
must
own
think I am a
goddess,
complete
okay.
and utter fool. Now you know why I prefer to spend my time in the field with data disks and computers. I always seem to say something embarrassing around.
She's a
other
very
people.
literal person.
Please,
Okay.
just pretend this conversation never happened.
Do you know why Benezia joined up with Saren?
I don't understand it. She was always outspoken about the need for the Asari to become more involved in shaping galactic events. Maybe she thought allying herself with Saren would somehow be for the greater good in the long run. At least I hope so.
This hurts you, doesn't it?
None of this makes any sense to me. I have not spoken to Benezia in many years, but I know her, and this was not like her. Something changed.
I'd like to know more about the Asari.
We were the first species to discover the Citadel. We were instrumental in forming the Council, and we always strive to be the voice of peaceful cooperation in galactic disputes. My people believe we are all part of a single galactic community. Each species contributes something to the greater whole. Although we seek to understand other species, it seems few of them seek to understand us. The galaxy is filled with rumors and misinformation about my people.
Like what?
Most of the inaccuracies are centered around our mating rituals. My species is monogendered. Male and female have no real meaning for us. We still require a partner to reproduce. This second parent, however, may be of any species and any gender.
Oh.
I don't understand. Your species can mate with anyone?
Mating is not quite the proper term, not as you understand it. Physical contact may or may not be involved, but it is not an essential element of the union. The true connection is mental. Our physiology allows us to meld with other beings. We can touch the very depths of their minds. We explore the genetic memory of their species. We share the most basic elements of their individual and racial identities. We then pass these traits on to our daughters. It is how we learn to grow as a species and how we develop a greater understanding of other races.
Oh.
What happens to your partner after the union?
Every relationship is different. Some unions are a single encounter with both parents parting ways afterwards. Others can be more long-term. Sometimes an Asari and her partner will stay together for many decades.
You Asari live for 1,000 years. What happens when your partner dies?
Few sapient species live as long as my kind. We have learned to take a philosophical approach to our unions.
Okay.
We do not focus on the inevitable loss of our partners. Instead, we enjoy the time.
I do
spent
like
with
that
them.
actual
And even
kind
after they're
of
gone,
thought
a
form.
part of them
Enjoying the
lives
time
on in
you're
us.
with someone
The
rather than
union is a
mourning the
connection
time,
that
rather than
transcends
like
both
in
time
everybody
and
for their
space.
death, you know?
Do you know who Matriarch Benezia chose as her partner?
She rarely spoke of her partner. Though I know my father, if you want to use that term, was another Asari.
I thought you always needed another species to serve as one of the parents.
Think about it, Shepard. If we were not able to mate with our own species,
True.
we would have died out long before we ever mastered spaceflight and left our homeworld. Union with our own kind is no longer common, not for the purposes of reproduction. Most Asari believe it weakens our species.
Huh.
Asari daughters inherit racial traits from the father species. If both parents are Asari, then nothing has been gained, or so conventional wisdom would hold. I am what is sometimes called a pureblood, though no Asari would ever be cruel enough to say the word to my face. It is a great insult among my people. It is possible Benezia's partner was embarrassed by their union. She may have been too ashamed to publicly acknowledge me as her offspring.
Why agree to the union if she didn't want any children?
I cannot answer that. This is all speculation on my part. It is possible she wanted to be part of my life, but something happened to her before she had the chance. Benezia never spoke of her partner. Whatever happened, it caused her too much pain to dwell on it. She raised me by herself, though that is not uncommon. Many Asari raise their children alone, particularly if the father species is short-lived. Often the partner will pass on long before the child reaches maturity.
I should go.
Goodbye, Shepard.
First and foremost, game, are you really focusing on this kind of content? I mean, yeah, I guess. But like, all right. Anyways, I want to see. Let's talk to everyone. Hi, Kaden. Now we are both ripped with abs.
Anything you need, Commander?
Just trying to get a sense of where the crew's at. Thoughts?
Is this an official evaluation, Commander? Or off the record?
All right. Let's label it officially off the record. Got something on your mind?
Straight up, there's something wrong with all of this. This Saren is looking for records on some kind of galactic extinction, but we can't get backup from the Council? Sorry, Commander. There's writing on the wall here, but someone isn't reading it.
The Council doesn't want to believe anything's wrong. I'd call it human nature, but...
I hear you. It just seems like a group that's been around as long as the Council should see this coming. Sorry if I got too informal. Protocol wasn't a big focus back in Bot.
Tell me about it.
Biotic acclimation and temperance didn't last past the airlock. To the kids they hauled in, it was brain camp.
Ooh,
Sorry,
that sounds
all
horrible.
kind. We were encouraged to commit to an evaluation of our abilities so an understanding of biotics could be compiled. There are worse results of accidental exposure to element 0 in the womb. Beats the brain tumors some kids grew up with.
Is there some question about how you were exposed?
My mother was downwind of a transport crash. It was before there were human biotics, a little after the discovery of the Martian ruins.
Okay.
It only gets iffy around 63 when kinetics was running out of first-gen subjects. Until then, they'd relied on accidentals. Bunch of guys in suits show up at your door after school, and next thing you know, you're out on Jump Zero.
Jump Zero is a long way from home. What was it like?
The grand gateway to humanity looks a lot better in the vids.
This
But that's my own
chin
baggage,
on
Commander.
sideways?
No
I'm sorry.
bearing on this.
Alenko, there's no regulation that says you can't be friends with your commander.
I appreciate that, Commander. I just don't want you to think that I'm a whiner.
I think your chin's on
Besides,
sideways.
I've got my pants squared.
I think his chin's just like, gee. All right.
Anything you need, Commander?
What's your opinion on the last mission?
Dr. Tassoni. Seems like a sweet girl. Easy on the eyes. I mean, if you like the bookish sort.
Any intentions there, Lieutenant?
No, Commander. Just art appreciation.
Jesus Christ.
Just trying to get
I've
a sense.
wasted enough of your time for now, Commander. We'll have time for personal debriefings later.
What's your opinion on the last?
I mean, if you like the bookish sort. Commander?
Deeper pod, examine, got that sweet, sweet XP. That's only like 41 XP, but alright. Let's go down to the deck 3 and see what's down there. So I can say hi to everyone. It's interesting learning about everyone and getting everyone's like personal takes on stuff on it. Like, I do enjoy learning about the Asari there, but at the same time, like, game, I know what you're focusing on. I see what you're talking about, game, but also like, come on. Rex, Garrus, and Asher are all here. Okay.
Hey, Commander. Looking for some extra supplies before you head out?
Not right now, thanks.
No problem. Keep checking back.
Talk to Garrus, the bestest boy.
Commander, nice work out there. I knew working with a Spectre would be better than life at CSEC.
Have you worked with a Spectre before?
Well, no, but I know what they're like. Spectres make their own rules. You're free to handle things your way. But
Garrus is
CSEC
such a good
carry
boy. I
my
love him.
rules. The damn bureaucrats are always on your back.
Being a Spectre does have its advantages.
Exactly my point. If I'm trying to take down a suspect, it shouldn't matter how I do it, as long as I do it. But CSEC wants it done their way. Protocol and procedure come first. That's why I left.
So you just quit because you didn't like the way they do things?
There's more to it than that. It didn't start out bad, but as I rose in ranks, I got saddled with more and more red tape. CSEC's handling of Saren was typical. I just couldn't take it anymore. I hate leaving.
I hope you made the right choice. I'd hate for you to regret it later.
Well, that's sort of why I teamed up with you. It's a chance for me to get off the Citadel, see how things are done outside CSEC.
Fair enough.
Either way, I plan to make the most of this.
Hell yeah,
And with
Garrus.
CSEC headquarters looking over my shoulder, well, maybe I can get the job done my way for a change.
As long as you do your job well, you're free to go about your business as you see fit.
Thank you, Commander.
I like Garrus. Is there any more I could get from him?
Commander, how are you?
Why did you want to be a CSEC officer
There
in
we
the first
go.
place?
That's a good question. There were several reasons.
Like what?
Probably the same as most officers. I wanted to fight injustice, wanted to help people. I guess my father had something to do with it too. He was CSEC.
One of the best.
I grew up hearing about his accomplishments or seeing his picture on the vids after a big arrest. He's taking my resignation pretty hard.
That's tough, but you'd think he'd be impressed you're going after Saren.
My father's a CSEC man to the bone. Do things right or don't do them at all. Thinks I'm being too rash, too impatient. He's worried I'll become just like Saren. He actually talked me out of becoming a Spectre when I was younger, for the same reasons.
No
You
kidding.
were asked to be a Spectre?
Well, I was targeted as a possible Spectre candidate, me and about 1,000 other Turian military recruits. I could have received special training, but my father didn't like it. He despises the Spectres. He hates the idea of someone having unlimited power with no accountability. No offense.
Not too
All
bad.
Spectres are like Saren, you know.
Of course not. But Saren's not going to play by our rules, CSEC's rules. If you want to nail Saren, you need to send someone who isn't restricted by policies and procedures.
You're a quick learner, Garrus. We'll beat him at his own game. It's the only way to stop someone like him.
I'm right behind you, Commander.
Anything else to talk to him about?
Commander, good
Nope.
to see you.
Oh. Okay, so I can see everyone's equipment here. Oh, that is helpful.
Commander, you have a minute to talk.
Of course.
I keep an open door policy. If you have any concerns, lay them on me.
All right.
Don't be racist. Don't be racist. Don't be racist.
I know things are different aboard the Normandy, but
God, she's racist.
I'm concerned about the aliens, Vicarian and Rex. With all due respect, Commander, should they have full access to the ship?
Don't mince words, Chief. What's your concern?
This is the most advanced ship in the Alliance Navy. I don't think we should give them free rein to poke around the vital systems. Engines, sensors, weapons.
You don't trust the Alliance's allies?
I'm not sure I'd call the Council races allies. We, humanity, I mean, have to learn to rely on ourselves.
So personally, I like asking questions in terms of like having someone talk themselves into realizing something. But I've done a lot of just to, you know, like I'm feeling X. Like, why are you feeling X? I'm feeling X because of this. So is this would this be something similar? Kind of deal. So I'm going to try that.
How do you get from relying on ourselves to mistreating our allies?
I don't mean we should mistreat them, Commander. I just think we should be prepared to go it without them. As noble as the council members seem now, if their backs are against the wall, they'll abandon us.
I don't see that as inevitable.
Look, if you're fighting a bear and the only way for you to survive is to sick your dog on it and run, you'll do it. As much as you love your dog, it isn't human. It's not racism, not really. Members of their species will always be more important to them than humans are.
These seem like deeply held beliefs, Williams. What made you think this way?
My family's defended the Alliance since it was founded. My father, grandfather, great-grandmother, they all picked up a rifle and swore the oath of service. I guess we just tend to think of Earth's interests as our own.
All right. I can see where your concerns are coming from, Williams. But this is a multilateral mission. You're going to have to work with aliens, like it or not.
It won't be a problem, Commander. You say jump, I say how high. You tell me to kiss a Turian, I'll ask which cheek.
Good.
I'm glad there won't be a problem.
Anything else you need, Commander?
What's your opinion on the last mission?
Not sure I buy Dr. Tassoni's story about her and her mom not talking. They're family, right?
Not everyone has a happy family life.
I know, but I'm not gonna bet she's on our side just because Benezia didn't hug her enough. I'll keep an eye on her. Too bad those ruins got destroyed. I mean, they lasted thousands of years. That's impressive.
What's your opinion on the last mission?
Not sure I buy Dr. Tassoni's story about
I think she's being straight with us. Or at least...
Yeah, she's Hey, want me to ask her about her sex life? Might be illuminating.
I don't think she's used to teasing. Good-natured or otherwise.
No fun. Too bad those ruins got destroyed. I mean, they lasted thousands of years.
We'll talk later, Willie.
Looking forward to it, sir.
That's racism. See, so the problem with racism is, like, you can't shut people out and see, like, you're wrong, you're an idiot, you're an asshole, get away from me. That's, like, the worst way to deal with racism. Deal with racism, you have to ask questions, get someone to be introspective, and then understand that from their own introspection, from their own biases, they are wrong. Or they are at least being horrible. I think one of the most interesting things I did was I spoke to a few Greek individuals before, and I told them, you know, back in the early 1900s, the Greeks were called greasy-haired, job-stealing, horrible people who lived in the ghettos of America, right? And this helped a lot of Greek individuals understand that that's how they're treating a lot of other minorities today. Because back in the 1900s, and early 1900s, 1920s, etc., the Greeks were discriminated against in sincerity. When you talk to people who do not know that history, they realize, oh shoot, we as a historical people have had, you know, the same discrimination on us. And I see now that, like, wow, the fact that there was a an anti-Greek riot and massacre in 1909, like, I can see how this is similar to how we see things today when we're talking about, you know, when people talk about other minorities like Mexican, African American, etc. So the way to, I guess what I'm saying is the best way to have a racist not be a racist is to expose people to their own kind of thinking and to say, you know, make them realize that their own thinking can be kind of wrong and kind of skewed and kind of really unnecessarily biased by showing love. And it's like, yeah, listen, I understand where your feelings are coming from, but also understand these same feelings you had on you, you have on someone else, was also put on you. And in the case of Greek specifically, you know, or that you're only harming yourself by not opening yourself up to other cultural experiences. You accept the food of people as an example, but you don't accept the people themselves. Why is that? You know, to cure racism, you need dialogue and understanding. It's a pain in the ass, but that's kind of it. And I hope Ashley doesn't stay a racist.
Shepard, what can I do for you?
And mind you, I'm not a professional turn people anti-racist kind of person. That's my personal experience, right? That's my personal experience.
What's your story, Rex?
There's no story.
Oh.
Go ask the Quarian if you want stories.
You Krogan live for centuries. Don't tell me you haven't had a few interesting adventures.
Well, there was this one time the Turians almost wiped out our entire
Oh,
race.
god damn.
That was fun.
I heard about that. You know, they almost did the same to us.
It's not the same.
Is it?
It seems pretty much the same to me.
So your people were infected with a genetic mutation? An infection that makes only a few in 1,000 children survive birth? And I suppose it's destroying your entire species?
I suppose it isn't all the same.
I don't expect you to understand, but don't compare humanity's fate with the Krogan.
Sorry, Rex. I wasn't trying to get you upset.
Your ignorance doesn't upset me, Shepard. As for the Krogan, I gave up on them long ago. The genophage infected us, but it's not what's killing us.
Are your people really dying?
We're sure not getting any stronger. We're too spread out. None of us are interested in staying in our own system.
Lots of species have left their homes and prospered.
But they go to colonize new worlds. We're not settlers. We're warriors. We want to fight. So we leave. Hire ourselves out. And most of us never go back.
So long, Rex.
Shepard. Shepard?
What can you tell me about the genophage?
Ask the Solarians if you want details. They made it. All I know, it makes breeding nearly impossible. Thousands die in stillbirth, and most never get that far. Every Krogan is infected, every one. And no one's rushing to find a cure.
Why don't the Krogan try to find a cure?
When was the last time you saw a Krogan scientist? Ask a Krogan. Would he rather find a cure for the genophage or fight for credits? He'll choose fighting every time. It's just who we are, Shepard. I can't change that. Nobody can.
So long, Rex.
Okay, so
Shepard.
how does this game go from like overtly sexualizing its characters, right? To then being like, well, we're gonna talk about massive genocides and racism. Like, holy shit. Okay.
Hey, Commander, you know that Quarian Tally? She's been spending all her time down here asking me about our engines.
I'll tell her to leave you alone.
What? No, she's amazing. I wish my guys were half as smart as she is. Give her a month on board and she'll know more about our engines than I do. She's got a real knack for technology, that one. I can see why you wanted her to come along.
I figured she'd be a real asset to the team.
You've got an eye for Tally, Commander, but I'm guessing that's not why you came down here.
Fill me in on the IES stealth systems. How does it work exactly?
You can't hide a ship out in space. They emit too much heat and radiation, too easy for sensors to pick them up. So our stealth systems trap the energy we give off in storage sinks built into the ship itself. No emissions to give away. Eventually the sinks have to be vented. More than a few hours silent running and they overheat. Cook us inside our own hull.
There's no way for anyone to detect us?
A visual scan can still pick us up.
Yeah.
Anyone looking out a window can see us plain as day. But you have to be pretty close to get an actual visual out in space.
Yeah.
Most vessels rely on scanners. As long as the stealth systems are engaged, they can't see us. Not unless we accelerate to FTL speeds.
Why doesn't it work with faster than light travel?
Cranking up to FTL blue shifts our emissions, pushes them into frequencies too high to capture in the sinks. As soon as we make the jump, it's like setting off a flare.
Fair enough.
Sensors can pick up our location whenever we enter or exit FTL flight, but for short-range missions, our stealth systems are amazing, and we've got the only one.
I want to know more about the Normandy.
She's the best ship I've ever served on, probably the fastest vessel ever designed, and she's the only one using the new Tantalus drive core.
What's so special about the Tantalus drive core?
Proportionally, it's about twice the size of any other vessel. Not only are we faster, We can run at FTL speeds longer before we have to discharge the core.
Where else have you served, Adams?
If you name a class of Alliance ship, I've probably served on it. Everything from dreadnoughts and carriers right down to frigates like the Normandy. My last assignment was on the Tokyo. Only a cruiser, but she was a good ship. Couldn't hold a candle to the Normandy, though.
Carry on, Adams.
Aye, aye, Commander.
Your ship's amazing, Shepard. I've never seen a drive core like this before. I can't believe you were able to fit it into a ship this small. I'm starting to understand why you humans have been so successful. I had no idea Alliance vessels were so advanced.
The Normandy's a prototype. Cutting-edge technology.
A month ago, I was patching a makeshift fuel line into a converted tug ship in the flotilla. Now, I'm sitting on board one of... I have to thank you again for bringing me along. Traveling on a vessel like this is a dream come true for me.
I had no idea you found ship technology so interesting.
It comes with being a Quarian. The migrant fleet is the key to the survival of my people. Ships are our most valuable resource. But we don't have anything like this. We make do with cast-offs and second-hand equipment. We just try to keep them running. Some of the fleet's larger vessels date all the way back to our original flight from the Geth.
I can't believe your fleet's still using ships that are 3 centuries old.
They're constantly being repaired, modified, and refitted.
So they're
They aren't
tinkerers.
pretty, but they work.
Quarians are tinkerers.
Mostly.
That's kind of cool.
We've tried to make ourselves as independent as possible on the flotilla, grow our own food, mine and process our own fuel. But some things we just can't make on our own. A patch to maintain the hull integrity requires raw materials we just don't have. That's why our pilgrimages are so important.
Tell me about your people.
Our lives aren't easy. Resources are scarce, and we are constantly on the move. There are 17 million Quarians
Oh,
in the
wow.
flotilla, and each of us relies on the others
That's not
for
a lot.
survival. The bonds among my people are strong. Unfortunately, we have had to surrender many of the freedoms and civil liberties other species take for granted.
What kind of freedoms?
Well, it's illegal for parents to have more than one child. If our population grows too much, it would strain our resources to their breaking point. Of course, we also can't allow our numbers to become too few. If our population is in decline, the rule against single births is temporarily repealed. In extreme cases of population decline, incentives are even offered to encourage multiple births, though the Conclave hasn't had to take such measures in nearly a century.
That's your government.
The Conclave is our civilian branch of government. Each ship can elect a representative to serve on the Conclave and make decisions that affect the fleet as a whole. On matters that affect an individual ship, however, the captain has the final say. It's a tradition that dates back to the early days, when the fleet was governed by martial law. Fortunately, most captains nowadays are smart enough to have an elected council from their crew to give them advice and guidance.
So the ultimate power rests with elected officials.
In practice, the Conclave and the respective council for each ship tend to set the rules that govern our daily lives. But in theory, we are still under military jurisdiction. The 5 top-ranking military officials in the fleet serve on the Admiralty Board. These 5 have the power to overrule any decision by the Conclave in case of emergency. To do so requires unanimous agreement among the Admiralty, and they can only do this once. After that, the entire board must resign their posts. It's a safeguard that served us well. In nearly 3 centuries, the Admiralty Board has only overruled the Conclave 4 times.
Interesting.
I want to know more about the Geth.
That's interesting.
I doubt I can tell you anything you don't already know. It's been almost 3 centuries since they drove my people into exile. All I know is the story of their origins, what they were when we created them, and how they turned on us.
Interesting.
The Geth were originally created to serve as an automated manual labor force. Initially, their intelligence was as limited.
So are these guys
as
biological or are they robotic?
Over
Like I
time, we
can't
made
tell.
small
Like there's a
modifications to their
face behind the
programming
gas
to allow
mask
them to
or
perform
glass.
more varied and
But like I don't know if they're
complex tasks,
biological or not.
bringing them closer and closer to true AI status.
How come the Council didn't step in and stop you?
This wasn't true AI research. We may have been skirting the bounds of the law, but we never did anything that was actually illegal. The changes were so insignificant, so gradual, that we were able to control them. Or so we thought. But one thing we underestimated was the power of the neural network. A million Geth thinking simultaneously created an inherently unstable matrix.
So, the Geth share brain power?
Many of the Geth's logic systems were designed to work in concert with other nearby Geth. Basically, the more of them you have in a group, the smarter they are.
Huh, like a hive mind, yeah.
So there's some sort of group consciousness?
No, nothing like that. They cannot share sensory
Never mind
data or
then.
information. Their programming cannot handle that much simultaneous input. Each Geth maintains an individual awareness and identity. The neural network only operates on a process-based level. It's basically the synthetic equivalent of a subconscious.
Okay.
But when they're in close proximity, they can coordinate low-level functional processes, freeing up more capacity for original or independent thought.
That doesn't make any sense.
I'm probably oversimplifying. Complex creations.
Does it make sense? Oh, I'm being too simple about
All
it.
you need to know is that they get smarter when they gather in large numbers. As we built more and more Geth, their effective intelligence became more sophisticated, more abstract. One day, a Geth began to ask its Quarian overseer questions about the nature of its existence. Am I alive? Why am I here? What is my purpose? As you can imagine, this caused a near panic among my people.
What did you do?
It was inevitable the newly sentient Geth would rebel against their situation. We knew they would rise up against us, so we acted first. A general order went out across all Quarian-controlled systems to permanently deactivate all Geth. The Geth responded to this order violently.
You can't blame them for fighting for their survival.
We had no other choice. The Geth were already on the verge of revolution. By acting quickly, we had a chance to end the war before it began. The hope was that most of the Geth would still be little more than machines, incapable of organized resistance. But they had progressed much further than anyone anticipated. The war was long and bloody. Millions upon millions of Quarians died at their hands. In the end, we were forced to flee our own homeworld. We feared the Geth would pursue us, but they never came beyond the Veil. Now we drift through space, exile searching for a way to reclaim what was once ours.
I want to know more about the pilgrimage.
When my people reach maturity, we leave our birth ships and seek acceptance with a new crew. It's necessary to maintain genetic diversity among the
So they
fleet.
are biological.
But no ship wants to accept someone who will be a burden on them. So, to prove our worth, we embark on a pilgrimage. We set out alone, leaving the flotilla and our families behind us. We only return once we have found something of value we can bring back to the fleet. This is presented as a gift to the captain of the respective ship we wish to join. If the gift is accepted, we are welcomed into the crew.
Can a captain choose to reject the gift?
That doesn't happen often. Most captains are eager to increase the size of their crew. It increases their own standing in our society. Even when the gift is not particularly valuable, the captain usually accepts it out of a sense of tradition. However, there is a stigma to presenting a substandard gift. It's not the best way to make a good impression on a new community. Most pilgrims don't return until they find something worthwhile.
I want to talk about something else.
Like what?
Let's see what the less dangerous thing
This is
is.
presented as a gift to the captain of the...
I can't believe they just send you off alone.
It's not like they just cast us out. Before we leave, we are given lessons. We also receive implants to fight off sickness and disease. Generations of living in an isolated and highly controlled... By the time we leave the fleet, we are well equipped for the pilgrimage. Virtually every pilgrimage ends with a triumphant return and the ritual presentation of the gift. Like what? See you later.
You don't see, I'm tapping like my shoulder. Like, here's where my brain is at right now. Like, what is going on? All right, let's do a mission. I don't feel like there's ever a simple mission, but. Which you know what I want to do? I want to go to the Farnede system of the Hades Gamma cluster. Make your way to the biotics on board. All right, cool.
Message coming in.
Commander, Miss Al-Jalani's story on you just aired. You don't come off very well. She talked rings around you.
Damn it.
With all due respect, Admiral, I'm a soldier, not a public speaker.
She shouldn't have ambushed you. We have a press corps for a reason. Nobody's blaming you. Just wanted to let you know what the response was back home. I won't keep you any longer. Fifth Fleet out.
Damn it. Alright, I gotta be careful. The Hades cluster. This is what I get for being like, let's not do racism. Earth hates me now. Earth hates me. What I'm starting to realize is that the Earthlings are assholes. If you want to be traditionally good, what our advice of being good are, which is
Message for you, Commander. Just came in over a secure channel.
Shepard, this is Admiral Gahoku. I found out who set that trap for my men. Damn, I hope you get this message. It was a group called Cerberus. An Alliance Black vanished a few months ago. Dropped right off the... They've gone completely rogue, Shepard. They're conducting a... I don't have any proof, but I found the coordinates for one of... They're completely out of control. Somebody needs... This is probably the last you'll hear from me.
okay, hold on. Got some more matriarch writings. We found some more minerals. Great. We found some gases. Cool. I'm not even done. Alright, let's finish the hostage thing here. The Farinata system on the Hades Gamma cluster. Wait, where? Oh, here it is. Alright, so a little bit of a distance. Okay. Ah, here we are. This is gonna be a combat mission. Let's bring Garrus and Rex.
Intruders! Kill the hostage!
Oh, Jesus Christ! Garrus, move out of the way, bud. Wait, hold on. Okay, there's a room in the middle. There's a...
See how it is? You write letters and everyone ignores you. Force is the only thing people appreciate. So how about if I kill Chairman Burns and finish this charade?
Please, I was trying to help you people.
Let's not do anything we're all going to regret.
Why not? What have we got to lose? Since the chairman here decided that we didn't get reparations, we've got nothing left to live for.
But I've changed my mind. Seeing you all, it's clear that you all deserve...
You had your chance. Some L2s are nearly crippled from side effects of the implants, but you voted against reparations.
Think about this. Burns is the one man who can help you.
Yes, if you release me, I can take another look at the reparations request.
What, we're supposed to trust you? Sure, you promise us freedom and say everything will be fine, but as soon as we surrender, you'll double-cross us.
I'm not promising to let you go. All I'm saying is that Burns will take another look. Right, Burns?
Absolutely. I had no idea that the L2 biotics were this desperate. If I'd known, the reparations will come. For whatever it's worth, I promise that.
You're right. I don't want to die. Maybe something will happen this time. We surrender.
Oh my God!
I thought I was dead when they took me. I'll see to it that the reparations discussion is reopened. I didn't know they were so desperate.
Then you weren't doing your job. The 5th Fleet cruiser will pick you and the prisoners up.
Thank you, Commander. I thought I was dead when they took me.
Wait. No window? I mean, I guess you don't need a window. I guess you just need sensors, but... Why am I... Ah! That was like a really quick firefight, too.
I thought I was dead when they took me.
I want to play Paragon. I know a friend of mine's like, oh, Steph, you should definitely go full rogue, baby. And I'm like, nah. I'm going to definitely be doing a Paragon run, it looks like. She'll be so disappointed with me. Can I? Oh, I could level up. Level up. Description higher. I can only level up Garrus. Alright, hold on.
Message coming in.
Thank you for dealing with the hostage situation. Chairman Burns was quite impressed by the way your assistance above and beyond the formal duties has been noted, Command.
We're gonna board with what's her name though, Tali. So we can loot the ever loving shit out of this place. If you don't loot literally everything, are you doing it right? You know? Oh, hello. I should be able to go back to that, like, the pirate cove I was there with Tali, and we'll be fine. Like, steal from there and loot everything. Alright guys, looks like that's it for me today. So much to do! We're gonna take a look at the UNC Cerebus next, because I want to see what's going on with that group. Let's do a few quick scans around here. Oh, nearby moon, baby. Let's go. Alright. Alright, guys. I think that's going to be about it for me today. I want to say thank you very much for joining on with me today. Me and Shepard in the Normandy. I hope you all had a journal. I hope you all had a fantastic time. I know I certainly did. Oh my god. I want to fight that journalist. I want to fight that journalist. Thanks guys for helping me out. Y'all stay safe, stay Botanist Cool, yell at me in the comments, and I'll see you soon. Bye everyone. Oh, Jesus.